This is Common Courtesy with Sean Nicholas.
I have to agree with everyone as well because deadass, one, I'd fucking run because Nikki Prue.
Like, in my opinion, this woman's already out of the house and moved on and forgetting about this man.
Angelique Young.
And I would have even told them about the money when I got there. I said I only found X, Y, and Z minus the ATM money I withdrew.
Ivan Alexander.
You have to be able to accept what you found and then make a decision from there. Don't go crying to Dear Abby about it or your friends. Make up your mind, put your big red teeth.
And Dr. Christina Palin.
If someone like Britney Spears goes through something like this for 13 years where she's completely blocked.
Yay! Everybody's all here. I'm so excited.
Happy birthday, Sean Nicholas. We celebrate with an update on Britney Spears' conservatorship. Then, film director Quentin Tarantino refuses to give his mother any money. Find out why. But before all that, we interview St. Petersburg mayoral candidate Robert Blackmon. Get ready, because the co-hosts are coming to you hot and live. This is Common Courtesy. Let's start the conversation. Hey guys, and welcome to Thank you, lovers. Hi, I am Sean Nicholas. I am your host and moderator of Common Courtesy. If it is your first time watching this show, this is the open platform, a social commentary show that we talk politics, sex, everything under the sun, but we allow every opinion to be here. And thank you for joining us. It is my birthday and I'm really excited because I'm 33 and I'm right where I want to be doing my own, thing and my own show. So up here with me, I have my favorite people in the world. Well, not everyone's here, but I have Dr. Palin.
Hi, and I just want to tell you that you make 33 look like 23.
Oh, ow, thank you. Thank you. I really try to look okay. No,
okay is an understatement.
On the bottom of us, we have our funny Ivan Alexander. How are you?
I can just say I remember 33 like it was yesterday. Plus about 20 years. And that's all I'm sticking to that. I'm not even going any further because I could, trust me.
I don't blame you.
It's all good in the hood.
Well, I remember being in college like it was yesterday as well. But we are pressed for time because we have a very special guest, a good friend of the show. It is not his first time being here. We have mayoral candidate Robert Blackmon here to join us to celebrate my birthday. And also as well, we got to get into Britney Spears and what's going on with her. But I just saw some Quentin Tarantino shit. He was on a podcast and he said some crazy things. You guys all saw in the intro. But let's get to Rob. I have a nice little video that I put it together for him just to give him a little intro. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Robert Blackmon. I'm a current St. Pete City Council member, and I'm running to be your next mayor. I'm about as St. Pete as it gets. I was born in the heart of downtown at Bayfront Hospital and graduated from St. Pete High. I'm a small business owner with a portfolio of apartments that I rent out below average market rent. In 2019, I was honored to be elected to City Council as the youngest member in our city's history. I have an outsider business mindset coupled with success inside the walls of City Hall that make me the best choice to be your next mayor.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to our panel mayoral candidate Robert Blackmon.
Welcome.
Thank you, and I'm sorry for keeping you waiting and being fashionably late on your birthday. I take full credit. Two things I want to start out with. First of all, I thought when I was watching the intro that I got the wrong podcast because the production values have gone way up on this. I mean, there was explosions, there was great seamless cuts. You guys are doing a great job over here. But second of all, I've been using, I appreciate you putting it up, the St. Pete for All hashtag, but I think hashtag 33 and where I want to be could be the next big thing.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the birthday wish, Robert, and thank you for being here with us. I have known you for some couple of years now, and I think I met you when you were running for St. Pete councilman, and you won your race back then, and now you're back to run for mayor. And I will have to tell the audience it's not his first time being on the show. He's helped us get interviews like with Keith McCants. That was a very powerful interview. So thank you for being back. I'm just going to roll with the interview very fast. So yes, your slogan is St. Pete for All. I just wanted to ask you, what does that mean to you, and what do you hope it means to your voters out there?
So, I appreciate you asking that. I just got back from a fundraiser that I did, and, I gave a little speech. And, when I was a kid, I was born and raised in St. Pete, went to St. Pete High, grew up here my whole life, born at Bayfront. And when I was a kid, I had no idea who the city council was. I had no idea who the mayor was in our city. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. And hear me out. If you're doing a good job at municipal governance, a lot of times that's just doing work that's silent, thankless work. It doesn't have to be all about you and the politician's ego. It should be more about policy. And, St. Pete for All means representing everybody in this town and every diverse viewpoint. We are a melting pot. We are an incredible social experiment in St. Petersburg, and we all coexist. And, when I see stuff like the mayor fighting with the governor on Twitter, fighting with the president, that's all an ego check because you're trying to punch above your weight class to get your name up. And, if I wanted to have an input on national issues, I could run for Congress. There's an open seat right now. I'm not running for Congress. I'm running for city government, which is, to take care of infrastructure, public safety, parks, our environment, as we've seen with Red Tide. There's so much we can do if we put the collective good before our own personal egos or our own personal agenda. And that's what I want to do. St. Pete for All.
You know what? I love hearing St. Pete for All for me because, I saw an interview you did on ABC, and it was very interesting because I feel like I've seen you out in the city. I feel like what St. Petersburg needs is people who know their constituents. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to Ivan with the first question from the co-host. Ivan.
Actually, I was going to defer to Dr. first because she's on that point. So I'm going to let her go, and I'll come back and follow up.
Okay.
All right, no problem.
So I wanted to just find out a couple of things. What do you think about the Deuces area? What do you think that can be done to improve that, the purpose of that? It seems like that's kind of fallen to the side, the Deuces Association and what they were really trying to do for South St. Petersburg.
I appreciate that question. Also, hello, Dr. Palin.
Hi.
You're talking about 22nd Street and the whole Midtown community, and it's kind of been left behind. What I say all the time is government, a lot of times, and this is not anyone trying to do anything wrong, but it's just the problem with government is a lot of times solutions are a one punch, right? We'll try and, throw some money at a problem, but there's never that 1-2 punch to make sure there's follow through. And what I look at is like 22nd Street, Tangerine Plaza has been a failure. It's a vacant building that's paid for by the taxpayers. The Commerce Park site has been a failure. We had the Eurocycle site, which now we're talking about doing the Sankofa project there, which is a $13 million project, which we're going to take on debt for. Manhattan Casino just closed down again. It's closed down multiple times. You also have, even the dollar stores are going out of business off of 22nd, the one just west of 22nd on 18th. So what you need to do is we need to have real solutions. And what I want to do is one of my real solutions to help that whole entire neighborhood, which is my former neighborhood. I used to live directly across from Melrose Elementary for about 4 years, is I would like to see municipal services, which we have right now currently at 4th Street and Central Avenue in downtown St. Pete, We have a plan that Mayor Kreisman's put forward to sell that building at 4th Street and Central Avenue for $12 million and build a new municipal services downtown for $42 million, losing $30 million. What I'd like to do is I'd like to move our city services from its current place in downtown to Tangerine Plaza. It's already owned by the taxpayers. It'll save us $50 million because instead of losing $30 million, we can actually sell our current building for fair market value, about $20 million. And I'd like to invest that money directly in the community so that entrepreneurs can get grants to open businesses, open restaurants. All the city employees being there on a daily basis will bring about the demand for grocery, for snacks, for coffee, for gas, for lunch. And we can have a true thriving community again off of 22nd Street because it's been neglected for too long. Even the infrastructure has gone downhill. And that's why you have all these medians with chopped down palm trees that didn't even get stump ground.
I love that idea. I mean, just bring, basically make, that the government's going to be constantly, in there, generate and thrive business. So it's going to, no matter what, even if we just have the city employees, that will at least generate some business there.
That's exactly. And you have every single day, you could have hundreds of city employees being there. Then all the people who are looking to do permits, those contractors, they can't park downtown right now. There's a surface parking lot at Tangerine Plaza.
Right.
All the different out parcels could be different city departments. And this could really bring about a big purchasing power to the neighborhood. They said the grocery stores went out of business because there wasn't the purchasing power. If you actually put city offices in the grocery store, it'd bring about the demand for a grocery store just by leveraging all that purchasing power. We owe it to the community to make meaningful change.
I love that. Are you
I'm not hearing you, Sean.
I know. I'm sorry. Okay, Dr. Payla, any more questions for our council member Robert?
Do you want me to go another one, or I thought you want?
I can go to Ivan.
It doesn't matter. I have another one. If
Ivan, let me go to you.
As Madonna said, back to me. I'm good. You had your moment. I was being nice. I gave you the floor first, okay? No, I agree with that. It sounds great. It sounds awesome. I like the whole, all for St. Pete. On a slightly lighter subject, what can we do about parking in downtown St. Petersburg?
So what you just said is one of the most loaded questions you could have possibly asked. And let me tell you why. Parking is getting worse and worse in downtown. But it's by design that it's getting worse. So what we've done is right before I got on the council 3 years ago, we made a change. And it was to support affordable housing. We all want more affordable housing. I've been one of the leaders, if not the leader on the council. Partnered with Representative Rayner, brought a bill to the State House last year. But one of the changes we made is any new apartment that's built in downtown St. Pete that's 750 square feet or less requires 0 parking spots for that unit. Okay, but now what's happening is entire buildings are being built where all the units are less than 750 square feet. So what you're seeing is a two-pronged problem. The first one is we've put over 300 units online because, by ordinance, we have to approve them, all with no parking. So it's only going to get worse. But second of all, because you don't have to allow parking, you can build a 30, 40, 50 unit apartment building on a single house lot because the height allows you to go way up. So now you're seeing all the historic buildings in downtown with a big red X on the back. And I remember a building came into council and the developer said, we never would have visited this if it wasn't for the parking changes. We're going to have true affordable housing. It's going to be $200 below market. So I finally buzzed in and I said, okay, you're saying you're going to bring about affordable housing. You wouldn't have touched it otherwise. This was a 6-unit building that was turn of the century, gorgeous from the 1900s with original solid wood floors, granite, stainless, central AC, stained glass, and it was rented for $925 a month. We've torn down 6 units at $925 a month to put 27 units in that are all going to be 15 to 17.
Can I just break in a little bit? What does this have to do with
parking?
The parking.
The parking situation?
Yeah. So
because it's compounded by all these guys doing this stuff. Yeah.
At new construction.
Oh, I got lost.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting in the weeds, so I'll end it there. But that is the
No.
problem.
I got what you were saying, though.
And the second thing is we've still kept this outdoor dining into parking spots We need to figure out if we
Mhm.
want to have that long term or not, where we allow dining in parking spots. We actually had a discussion about it 2 weeks ago at council. A majority of people, business owners, are unhappy because they say it's affecting their business that a few people are
Right.
able to have dining in the spots. So,
Right. Yeah, I have to. That's a great question, Ivan. I'm not gonna lie because parking is a problem downtown. Because I used to work somewhere, in the ether in downtown, the downtown area. Okay, so I'm gonna take the next question, then we'll go down to Palin after me. So Rob, this is common courtesy. I have to ask you about some of the controversy that I've seen, on the media. There was a housing dispute earlier, and you answered that. Can you give us? I heard, as you said, that they didn't respond to you, and they protested, and something happened. I was gonna say, in my opinion, the fact that something actually happened because they said something and made a small little scene. Um, Running for mayor, I think that's a very good sign for me, because we did there was a Black Lives Matter protest all over the world last year, and they still can't get police reform in every state. But moving on from that, the one thing that I saw online was some comments that were made 10 years ago. I just kind of want to give you a chance to respond to that, if that's okay.
right. So now I appreciate it. And there's two different things. So first of all, I'll say this: the media picks who they want to be where they want to be. And right now, I've got a target on my back, much like those older buildings downtown. I said to somebody earlier today, I said, we talk about herd immunity or having antibodies from COVID. I'm pretty sure I have negative publicity antibodies at this point, and I can no longer be affected because they've tried to hit me with everything. But, as far as the apartments first, I'll throw that out. The apartments, I bought a building and it had been less than a month or 2 months, and I couldn't get anybody to respond. People had said they want a maintenance request, but they're not talking to me. I sent my employees by 6, 7 times to try and fix things up. I'm not able to even get in to fix things, yet people are not paying any rent. And when I bought it, the old landlord owner said, well, we haven't received rent in 4 or 5 months. We talk about affordable housing, which is the average rent in St. Pete now, believe it or not, is $1,380 a month.
Huh.
The rent I was renting, I still am renting those units at, is $600 a month. There is a difference between affordable housing and free housing. I have a massive mortgage on that building. I've constantly bought buildings that needed work, and I've fixed them up, and I've made our community better. I've already spent well over $20,000 fixing up that building. When all is said and done, I will spend over $300,000 fixing it up. I'm not complaining because I was planning to do that, and I'm happy to do it. But to say that these people coming to protest at the building had any impact on my trajectory is just not true. I was doing this work. I've continued to do this work. Look at the track records. Look at the Tampa Bay Times did a story on me in 2015 about the place I used to live at 17th Street and 13th Avenue. They said how wonderful it was. I had granite and stainless, central AC for $645 a month. Preservation Society gave me an award in 2014 for best historic renovation. So I've always made every neighborhood in our city better. I'm going to continue to do that. There's been some partisan actors who had axes to grind. I even saw political candidates out at that protest. And it's unfortunate because it's the worst of politics.
And then there are the comments that
Right.
people have made. I showed a picture of it just to have artistic integrity. These are some of the comments that was made 2011. How do you respond to that?
So as far as that, people were circulating the stuff around the internet, and I tried to look for it, right? I tried to look for those comments. I don't have them on my Facebook. So if they were said, I couldn't find them, and they were deleted years and years and years ago. Stuff like, then they tried to put, the Times ran the story, and they put in that thing, which is a picture of Donald Trump from 5 years ago as a recent thing. That I found on my Facebook. That was a joke, and that's what I have to say about that. As far as these comments from 10 years ago, look, I already said I want to have a St. Pete for all. That's my message. That's my belief. If we're going to talk about, comments that people have made in college or whenever, if those were even something I said, then we're going to have to look back at everybody and scrutinize everybody for everything. I think it should be a war of ideas, not of personalities. And, if we're going to play on a level playing field, I was 20 and 21, 22 when these were supposed to have been made. You know, my leading opponent, Commissioner Ken Welch, just last year said he needed to get some Vaseline to take care of that massa that was Rick Baker. And I don't, you know, I don't want to go into that as saying, oh, Ken, look what you did. But again, we need to look at things with a lens of equity. And that was 1 year ago in his 20th year in elected office. We're talking about stuff that was a decade before my political career. I just think that we need to put everything in context. And again, I think my leadership at affordable housing, bringing forward the resolution on Juneteenth, leading the charge on that in the area, what I've always fought for financial equity and financial growth for our Midtown society and our community, the Science Center, which I brought about a bipartisan coalition to get that done, and protecting our environment. Look at all the works that I have done and see if that is what you want to vote for, because that's the candidate that I am.
Wow, that was a great answer. And so what you're just saying, to clarify, those comments may not be real or factual.
You know, I couldn't find the stuff when I looked on Facebook. My Facebook, I looked for, I couldn't find it. But at the same time, you know, there's certainly the comments are inappropriate. And I've made off-color comments in my life, certainly. And if the question is, have you ever said anything you regret in your life? Absolutely. I am human as they come, and I am not a perfect person. Absolutely. But we need to look at who aligns with the goals we have and who has the best ideas to move our city forward for everybody. I believe that's me, and I've presented tangible ideas. My opponents will try and just throw, you know, attacks all the time. But who has the best ideas? I'm presenting a tangible plan for financial equity. I'm bringing about scientific learning. And I haven't heard anything from my opponents at all. And they've been in office, you know, 20 years longer than me.
Absolutely. So we have time for just a quick question before we say goodnight to Robert. Dr. Palin, do you have one, or?
Well, you don't have to answer this. How much did you spend on your TV ads? Because I constantly see them.
You've made my night by saying that. So I did a little bit of research this evening. I think I have raised in total about $275,000 in my campaign.
Oh my!
That sounds like a lot, but in round terms, my two closest competitors, Darden Rice has raised $750,000 or $800,000, and Ken Welsh has raised about $450,000, $500,000. So
and you're polling in the second place right now, and Darden's been falling.
That's
down.
right. I have been drastically outspent by both of my opponents. I'm within 2 points of first place, depending on the poll, 1 point, 3 points, doesn't matter. I'm within striking distance of first place, even though I've been drastically outspent. My opponents, the two leading ones, have also been in for 2 years. The race, I've been in the race for 9 weeks. There's actually still more time left in the race than I've been in the whole time. There's about 11, 12 weeks till the general election. So I've been able to cover a lot of ground very frugally and very efficiently. We've been doing aggressive TV buys, absolutely. And that's part of the plan. Is I think there's a general arrogance about politicians that people know who you are just because you've been in office. I am very cognizant of the fact that the people of St. Pete are hardworking people, right? They have families they have to take care of. They have jobs. They have bills to pay. You got car payments. You don't have time to research and know every single person on the city council, county commission, the mayor, and you shouldn't have to, because your elected officials should be working for you. You shouldn't having to be knowing who they are. It shouldn't be an ego show. So that's why I've been working very hard to brand myself as quickly, as efficiently, and as frugally as possible, because I knew I was going to have the resources, but we're doing a lot with a very little, and I feel great about it.
You should. They look very good. I love your ads.
Thank you very much.
You're on mute, Sean.
Baby.
Sorry, you guys don't know what's going on here. My niece and nephew here, they're running around and shit, and I'm like, this is my birthday. Come on, make it perfect for me. And they knock some shit over and turn it off. But no, I think, Robert, honestly, you knocked these answers out of the park. I had to rev the engine up there a little bit and ask you about those questions. And honestly, For me, I would say this. I'm going to end the interview like this. And we're going to say goodnight. If I was going to vote for anybody, I would vote for you because I reached out to everybody. Darden Rice, Ken Welch, Wingay Newton. You know, I haven't yet to get a response. You know, yet I see your picture everywhere. My friends, people that, you know, I just met, they know you. And I've seen you out in the city. So like I said, I think the city needs people that knows their constituents, because you talk about criminal justice reform. Well, a lot of these judges don't know they don't know the people who they're like judging. You know, they're like, oh, well, I assume that you missed this appointment, you know, because that usually means this. I'm like, wait, bitch, hold on. When's the last time you were at, you know, something different? I've never been there, but you know, these are the people that are usually being judged. And if you're talking about criminal justice reform, you know, they're usually the people that don't make that much money. They make the minimum wage, and they're more prone to get into those problems. But like I said, you answer the call every time. Like, you've been here multiple times. So I wish you luck in this race. You're in second place. And I don't know, last time you're on the show and Michelle Rayner was on the show, they won their election. So we'll see.
Well, it's that good luck bump from Common Courtesy. And I'm going to say this to close. You have to have accountability to the office. You know, I don't want to have a long career in politics. That's why I'm jumping up to mayor after 2 years on the council, because I just want to do the most good with my time. But, you know, you should be able to see your elected official out. You should be able to get me on this podcast. You should be able to ask me all the questions you asked me.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Doesn't mean that we're not friends because you ask this stuff. It just means you have to be accountable, because that's the office you're running for. So I'm always going to take any opportunity to speak. I'm always going to be candid. I'm never going to be guarded. And I'm very thankful. And also, happy birthday to you, my friend. And it's a great time as always.
Thank you so much. And like I said, I want to thank Robert for being here, and thank you for the birthday wish. And just in case that when I repurpose this, if anyone's listening, where can we find your campaign if anyone wants to research you?
So my campaign website is Blackmon, the number 4, stpete.com, Blackmon, the number 4, stpete.com, or facebook.com/Blackmon, the number 4, St. Pete.
All right. Like I said, we wish you luck in your race, and we'll see you hopefully next time you're on the show. We'll be saying, welcome to the show, Mayor Robert Blackmon. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very, very much. Have a great rest of your evening and birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
I like it.
I don't know about you bitches, but like, I had to ask those questions because, you know, I see things on social media, and I say this: it's easy to talk shit about someone you don't fucking know, but I'm a real person, and I will go directly to the source. I'm like, let me ask this shit, you know, and hopefully, you know, that resonates.
I was going to ask. Exactly. I was going to ask him, hey, look, first of all, I could sell my house tomorrow, sign me the hell up for $690 a month with granite and stainless steel. I'm good to go. And I'm pushing elderly too. So, I mean, like AARP said, hell yes.
And I love the fact that he's saying it's not free. It's affordable housing. It should be.
Exactly.
It should not be free. It should be
affordable
housing.
Affordable.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
How's he keeping that rent so low? I didn't want to go.
We'll get into that. This show is not about real estate. It's about hot topics. Let's move on. All right. So we've seen a lot of things with Britney's legal battle because we've been gone for a month, but I've been following it closely. Let's take a look at an update from from Britney's own words on her Instagram video. I don't know. She's keeping us up with this. This is some drama, y'all.
Okay, so I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering how I'm doing, and since the cat is out of the bag, literally out of the bag, and you guys know my situation, I do want to let you guys know things are way better than what I ever anticipated. Okay guys, great news. I got my first iPad today. Sorry about my hair, I've been in the yard, I've been working, but I came to the kitchen, I saw something I ordered, and it is a freaking new iPad. I am so excited. My kids have owned one. I've never owned one. This is just a groundbreaking day. I've always had a little phone, but now this iPad is in my hands, and I feel like my life is changing as we speak, and I'm so excited. Upward bound!
So after this, she's been making social media videos on Instagram to communicate with her fans. Her new attorney, because since we've been gone, they have allowed her to hire her own attorney. She's hired high-powered attorney, celebrity attorney Matthew Rosengart, and since then he has asked for an earlier. He filed to get her father, Jamie Spears, removed from the conservatorship, and I just heard recently this morning that the judge denied her that grant. So I just want to ask you guys really fast, how are you guys feeling since we left the last episode until here? Do you guys think this is helping Brittany? Like, how do you feel? I'm gonna go to Ivan first.
Oh, hell no. First of all, if you didn't sound like you were 12 or 13 freaking years old, and then you're like going berserk over iPad or whatever, this to me just hurt her credibility. I'm looking at this going, what the hell am I looking at here? It's like, what? She's 30 some odd years old and she's acting like this over a piece of technology? Where have you been, Brittany? Seriously. This didn't help you in my book. I think she was like Space Cadet. Space Cadet, seriously.
Okay, Dr. Palin, let me go to you.
Oh, she's 39, so almost 40. And I mean, literally, like, I'm not understanding what was some dot that needed to be connected that did not get connected. Is it because of this conservatorship that she was not able to get an iPad? Was that the message? Because that's the only thing that leaves me thinking like anyone in this day and age with her wealth is not getting an iPad because somebody is preventing her, but that point did not get made. So she looked really bad. I agree with Ivan.
Well,
my mom is 87 and has a smartphone. Come on now. She's 87 with a smartphone.
No, Dr. Palin, I just want to say that you bring up a really good point because people don't realize that when I saw that video, I can play it again. You can speed up your video a little bit faster, and you only have so much time to make these Instagram videos. And American folks they have a very short attention span. So when I first watched these videos, I was like, yo, she sounds like fucking. She's on coke,
12.
But Dr. Palin made a very good point. This person that couldn't have with her money. She said her children had an iPad, but she couldn't have one. I think you're making we're laughing and stuff. And we get it. But I think Dr. Palin, she's, I'm pretty sure you study psychology and you caught that. It's like, wait, hold on. She couldn't have this, her children can have it, but she couldn't. So maybe, because if you ask me, every time she makes a video, I feel like she's in fucking prison. And I can believe it because we can save money. We can say that we can see her public life, just like Robert. We can say everything about him. He's a public official, but you don't really know someone till you know them. I found it kind of crazy that she couldn't have it. But after everything I heard, she has a forced IUD. I mean, what is it? The
birth control, whatever.
Birth control. Can't have a kid, can't see her kids when she wants to, has to work 6 days a week. I think the problem, I don't want to fall back into the problem that we had to have the Free Britney movement. And I just kind of saw that when we reacted to it. Everyone like, oh, it didn't help her. But I'm like, wait, she just said she never had some shit that I have an iPad. And if you look at my bank account, don't look at it, but it's something I think she said there's so much more to this, so I'm following this story and hopefully you guys follow it with me because I feel like Britney's going to have a hell of a documentary one day.
Yeah. I mean,
with that going on, definitely.
I think that, but I think that it would help because just like, I mean, it still does not come across right when, she doesn't connect the dots because it does come across like, because there's that overall kind of ideation that's been created about her, this image that she's mentally not well. When she makes these points, I think that someone in her corner, like this former federal prosecutor who's now this high as lawyers there in LA needs to kind of, control some of that. I saw an article just today saying that she's going to do less and less appearance on Instagram.
Yeah, I think that's like the advice of her lawyer. Because like I said, she's speeding the video up. I'm watching it and no one talks that fast naturally, but I know you can speed things up because I work in film things. And I think that since she's an artist, sometimes you don't have that director's eye. Because I'm like, no, bitch, don't speed that up because you think it's time. Because I'm like, because I can
also slow things down too, though.
She could, but
You can slow stuff
then
down
you
because
think
she sounded
but
really
then we
bad.
saw the video of her smoking. You're like, oh, now she's high. All right, so let's move on because we have just a little bit more time. I wanted to get to this last topic because I heard this. I saw an article and I heard the podcast, The Moment, and it featured Quentin Tarantino. He said that he didn't want to give his mother any money after making this sarcastic comment. But I can tell you this whole thing and read you the facts. But since it's common courtesy, we can hear it from himself.
She said, and by the way, this little writing career, all right, with the finger quotes, all right, this little writing career that you're doing, that is over. And when she said that to me in that sarcastic way, I was in my head and I go, when I become a successful writer, you will never see penny one from my success. There'll be no house for you. There's no vacation for you. No Elvis Cadillac for mommy.
God damn. Okay. So he's saying this all stems from an argument. I just want to go to the panel and ask you guys. The question is this. Is he morally right? Is he, justified? Or is he just being petty? Dr. Palin, I'm going to let you take this one first.
Well, I just think that it sounds like it really got under his skin. It really, touched really deep in his bone because it's something like he said. I mean, he went and he became a very successful writer. And, for the closest person in the world not to believe in you that way and to talk down about your dreams, I mean, I think I can appreciate his position that, for him to say to himself, watch, when I get there, I'm not, you're not. I think that in general, we all have people like that in our lives who knock down our dreams and who say that, oh, you'll never make it and this and that.
But your mom?
Yeah. That's usually not our mom. So I mean, in my view, if a mom is going to be going in that tunnel to say that to you, to make you feel like you can't make it, something that is so important as a dream for you, I think that, she's deserving of not getting a penny now.
Okay. All right. Let me go to Ivan. Ivan, is he being morally justified or is he being petty?
He's being a bitch. Number one, it was a childhood situation, okay? So he's a kid. Now, granted, fact, yes, parents always support your kids the whole 9 yards. But if they had some kind of little disagreement going on, whatever, oh, you'll never make it. So somewhere along the line, he thought that he wouldn't make it either. He says, well, if I ever make it this big, I'm not going to give you this and this and this and this. Okay, now, you were a kid at that point in time. Put your big boy pants on. Did mom support you all those years after you started going towards that dream, or did she never support you? Because I find it really hard to believe that one little comment as a little child lasted you all this time, and she hasn't supported you since. Quit being a bitch. Give mom what she wants to a degree, and move on. Let it go. It's ridiculous.
I'm fucking
as a child to an adult. He's like, Mom, I'm going to prove you wrong. Okay, great. So prove her wrong. But in the meantime, if she's supporting your behind, guess what? She's entitled to some of that money.
Hello. I'm glad you brought that point up. I agree with both of you guys because I'm like, I think he's being very. I think the other person's right. Maybe we're not hearing the full entire story, but if you listen to that audio, he's like fucking laughing. I'm like, go fuck yourself, bitch. It sounded like it was some, because he said it was like he was doing wrong. Yeah, he was a kid. He was doing something wrong. She's like, oh, and your writing career, whatever. My mom says shit like that. She's like, oh, those comic books that you love, I'm gonna throw them away. Did she ever do that? No, that's your mom. They're doing this stuff to it's a discipline thing. And the fact that, let's say this, what if we never heard of Quentin Tarantino? Could he say that shit now? He'd be like this, oh, mom, can I get some money for this rent? Because writers don't make that much money. They're usually like coffee shop servers. So, what if he didn't get famous? So I think he's definitely being petty. Because if he's not gonna tell us the full story, we don't know. But the way that he laughed at it, I found it so disgusting.
But you know what? He has that nervous laugh, Sean.
I don't, I didn't,
seen it before. I've seen him in other interviews. He kind of has that giggle, almost like the vice president Kamala Harris. Like it's just like he just kind of has that like kind of a tick laughter.
Oh, well, I don't know. I disagree
Yeah,
with
but
that.
the same
Like,
respect,
that's not
though.
what I heard about because he's telling a story. Like, if you're telling a story about your past and your mom and something that obviously affected you so much, he's a film director, and usually film directors study acting. And because I can tell you that because hey, I went to school for it, spent too much money. But so I listen to him laugh about it. He's like, haha, no more money for mom. Get the fuck over yourself because now you have the power. You know, it seems like he's got a lot of issues to figure out. And I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple of years we see a hashtag Me Too movement because that was so despicable. I get into fights with my mom all the time. We're both Leos. My birthday is today. Hers is next Tuesday. And we're doing this joint birthday party. And just a little bit part of me is, I'm fighting it because I'm a diva. But, it's like, what the fuck, dude? And me and my mom get into like soap opera, general hospital level arguments. Like, I mean, you see how I'm explaining it. Like, I'm talking about, I throw things down just to push it, just make it dramatic, because I'm so
I know, but
mad.
she doesn't put you down with cutting you down on your dreams, does she?
No, but she says some things that like, things that I like, oh, that show that you want to do, I'm not going to drive you to it, then she ends up driving you to it. Like, Ivan said, he's like, I want to ask that question. Did she show up to your shows? We argued as a child when I was a kid, but my mom was at every show I've done. My father hasn't been to one. He wants to tell me how to do this fucking show. I don't want to hear it, because where were you?
But here's this too, though.
Go ahead.
But maybe she was the spark. Maybe she was a spark that lit the flame under his ass to make him who he is today. And he didn't realize it. With her, quote unquote, cutting him down, that was her way to say, you know what? You're not going to amount to be I'll show you. And guess what? Now you are. So guess what, dude? Get over it. You were a kid. Actually, you know what? The $120 million you're worth, about half of that's mom's anyway. So you know what? Give it up.
So when did he say that this conversation happened between him and his mother?
He said it happened like, he was like in high school or some shit. But I just want to answer. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, it happened in his childhood. We all heard that. But no, the co-host, I can't remember his name, Brian Capamelli, the guy who co-creates the Billions on paid cable television. He said the same thing that Ivan said. Maybe he's trying to push you. He's like, no. He's like, your worst to your children has consequences. I'm like, nigga, you're like almost dead, and so is she. Like, can't take your money with you. Like, get over it. Like, for me, I'm like this. Go burn in fucking hell because I get mad at my mother all the time. But I would, if I get fucking millions, guess who's sipping Mai Tais with me in Cabo? Melissa. Because she's always been there. She's always been there, even though she's like, I'm gonna throw your comic books away, I'm gonna throw your plays, your movies away. That's just your mom, He's got some issues to figure out. He needs to worry about his hashtag.
Oh, he definitely has issues.
Yeah, I can hear it because I don't know. For me, when he laughed like that, he enjoyed that. He enjoyed having power. Well, guess what, bitch? If I can work against you, you're done. But we're out of time. We're out of time, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I want to thank Robert Blackmon for being here as well. We will be here next week with more guests. We have a singer, Siobhan Monique, to premiere her new music video, and also two immunologists to talk about the vaccine because vaccine myths are still out there. And you know me, I like to tell the truth. I like to go to the source. We'll see you guys here next week.
Happy birthday again.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Bye.
See you next week.